Dear students, this class we shall do with the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by the American poet of nature Robert Frost. You open the book 1 at page 100. Really, you might have read the poem of William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth has he has a poem Daffodils. You will read it in second year. William Wordsworth was a poet of nature in English literature. At the same, Robert Frost is a poet of nature in American literature. William Wordsworth writes in simple language, describes nature and describes the philosophy of life. Likewise, Robert Frost also uses simple language, common language, very simple language and writes the poems. When you read the poem, you read that the poem is about an ordinary theme, theme, Sarakatha. But all these poems end with wisdom, WISDOM. Ends in giving wisdom to the students. Really, the poems start with delight, DLIGHT, Ananda, ends in wisdom. What is nature? Nature, the things we see in our eyes. What? The trees, the forests, the mountain, the rivers, the lake, the pond, etc. and etc. And when we go there, we feel delighted, we feel happy. And this poem, you see, this is a very great poem because our first Prime Minister, who is the first Prime Minister of India? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, was greatly influenced by this poem. And he wrote the last 4 lines of the poem on a paper and kept it on the glass under the glass of his table, and he was always looking at it. Really, this poem provides great wisdom and it is very philosophical, Darsanika. It is very philosophical in nature, and it speaks that Robert Frost is a great poet of nature, but not only nature. He describes nature and also side by side speaks about the philosophy of life, and that is your Robert Frost. And you see, what is the situation in a poem, in this poem? Let us go to the title. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Wood means katha. When S is added, woods, small forest. Small forest. Then what is the place? Situation? It is a small forest. What was the time? On a snowy evening. Time was evening. What type of evening the time was? It was snowy evening. Snow means S-N-O-W, baraf. Snow was falling. Snow was falling down. And when snow falls in winter there is snowfall. Then snowy evening means winter evening. So it was a winter evening. What was the place? Woods, small forest. It is a part of nature. And the poet stopped there. तम गाँव आंब बगीचा बहु आंब गच 100-200 अच्छी ता भितर सन्ध्या बुलीगले केमती लगे रे पिले भल लगे यू एंजॉय दैट एंड लाइकवाइज द पोएट वन विंटर इवनिंग व्हेन देयर वाज snowfall the poet stopped by woods, in a woods. And what was his state of mind? He was in a mood of enjoyment. He was in a mood of enjoyment, enjoying the nature. Not only enjoying the nature, he was linking, L-I-N-K, जोड़ीबा. He was linking with the philosophy of life. What is that philosophy? The philosophy is that man is not born only to enjoy, because the end of life is death. Man is born to die. So in course of our living period, from birth to death, man takes a long journey before taking the last sleep. And we have to meet the responsibilities of life. Responsibility means daitva. You have to kartabya. We have to meet the responsibilities of life or the duties of life. So our aim is not only to enjoy nature. Let us enjoy nature, feel free, but go on to meet the responsibilities of life and carry on the duties of life, because it is the aim of life. So this poem speaks of this double idea. One is enjoy nature, then another is go on meeting the responsibilities or the duties of life. So it is a very good poem, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru very much liked the poem and wrote the last 4 lines. I will read it on a piece of paper, kept it on the table, and every time he was looking at it and getting encouraged. Pile encourage, utsahita hoga. Encourage by inspire. Utsahita hoga. He was getting encouraged to fulfill the duties of his life. This poem begins in first person. How many persons are there in English grammar? 3 persons. First person, second person, third person. First person singular I, plural we. Second person singular you, plural you. Third person singular he, she, they, he, she, plural they and others. Everything is in the third person. And here the poet speaks. So he uses I, first person. So this poem is first person narrative. Whose woods are these? These are, I think, I know. I refers to the poet. Okay? The poet, you see, the poet is now inside the woods. Inside the woods. He was riding the horse. The horse stopped there. The poet looked at the woods and he thought, okay, I know whose woods these are. And who is the owner of the woods? The owner of the woods may be a person living in the nearby village, or the owner of the woods is God, because God has made everything. So the poet says, I know whose woods are these, means these are who is the owner of the woods. And then he speaks, his house, his here refers to the owner of the woods, owner of the woods. His house is in the village though, means the owner of the house, the owner of the woods lives in the nearby village, or his house, the house of the owner of the woods is in the nearby village. The poet says, I know. So he will not disturb me enjoying the woods. He will not see me stopping here, because the owner of the woods is living in the nearby village. He cannot see me. He cannot see me when I stop here. He cannot see me when I am enjoying the woods. So I am alone. I am alone in the beautiful situation or lovely situation to enjoy the woods in this winter evening while snow is falling. Snow is falling. He will not see me stopping here. What I am doing here? To watch his woods fill up with snow. So he will not disturb me. I am alone here. I will enjoy nature, because I am a lover of nature. I will enjoy nature alone, and the owner of the woods will not disturb me. Disturb me while I am watching, I am enjoying the woods filled with snow. Filled with snow means snow is falling. Snow is falling. So it is the winter evening. It is the winter evening. My little horse. How did the poet go there? The poet go there by riding his little horse. Little horse. My little horse must think it queer. 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 Queer बोले full of questions. Full of queer means full of questions. Okay. Strange. Queer means strange. My little horse must think it queer, strange, आश्चर्यजनक to stop without a farmhouse near. Whenever or wherever they were going, wherever they were going means the poet was riding the horse. They stopped near a farmhouse, so that they can get a rest and food, rest and good treatment. But here, what happened? There is no farmhouse nearby. It is a jungle, small jungle or small forest, woods, and the horse might be thinking, why did my master stop here? Between the woods and the frozen lake. Lake means hroda. You have got freezes in your house. Freezes water makes it snow. Frozen lake माने lake रा पानी टा frozen हो जाइए, बर्फ हो जाइए in winter. On the side of the woods there was a lake, but the water of the lake is frozen because it is deadly winter season, and it is the darkest evening of the year. The evening is getting dark, so the horse thought it very strange. Why my master stopped here? There is no farmhouse nearby to take rest, to have food, and the evening is getting dark. The winter evening is getting dark. The lake is frozen, means lake is frozen, and there is we feel serious cold. So the situation is not welcoming situation. It is not a comfortable situation. And why my master stopped here? So in order to attract the attention of the master that we should not stop here, he gives his harness bells. Harness bells means घोड़ा बेकरे जो घंटी बंधा होता है. He gives his harness bells a shake. दोलेवा मान बेल बजाई देला to attract the attention of the his owner. He gives his harness bells a snake. Harness bells are tied to the neck of the horse. Gave a shake. Bell bajila to ask if there is some mistake. To ask whom? To ask the master. Ask the master that, oh my master, you might have committed a mistake by stopping here in the middle of the woods without a farmhouse, and we feel maximum cold, we feel uncomfortable, we should not have stopped here. It was snowy evening. The poet was inside the woods. There was silence everywhere. It was the cold evening. And when he shook second. Shake halaiba, do leiba. Shake past shook, past participle second. When the horse shook the bell in his neck in order to attract the attention of the master, to make him feel whether the master has made a mistake. By stopping here, in the silent situation, the poet heard only two sounds. The only other sounds is the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Flake, F-L-A-K-E. You know down तळକୁ ଆସିବା, downy ତଳେ ପଡ଼ିବା. Downy flake. Flake बोले खंड, बरफ खंड. Flake here, flake of snow. Flake of white snow. It is falling down from above the sky. The flake of white snow falling down, so downy flake. Okay, falling down, making sound. And another sound, the slow wind. It is winter evening. Slow wind is blowing, making small sound. You see, snowflakes, Barabakonda, falling on the earth, making sound. And third sound was the shaking of the harness bell on the neck of the horse. That was a situation very silent, very attractive. Winter evening, very, very beautiful woods. The poet was enjoying there. And he speaks his mind. The poet speaks his mind. Oh, the woods are lovely. Suppose you go to visit a film. When after the film is over, you say, oh, what a beautiful picture it is. Likewise, the poet says, the woods are lovely. Lovely means beautiful. Dark. Dark bole kon andhar tame kahucho? Dark bole dark and deep. Deep bole deep ghancha bahaliya heichi. Jungle ta. So it looks dark. The sunshine cannot enter the leaves, the branches. And it is a dark wood, deep branches, and it looks lovely. Really, I am very happy to come here and enjoy the beautiful woods. Who thinks? The poet Robert Frost thinks that, okay, really, I did a good thing. What? I came here in the evening time, because evening time is silent time. There is no heavy sound to get disturbed. So silence is reigning everywhere. Okay? And it is the deep forest, deep woods. And because it is getting dark, because it is evening, and especially winter evening, snow is falling and cold wind is flowing slowly. Really, it is very beautiful. The poet thinks it is very beautiful. Oh, I enjoy. And it is a place to enjoy. It is a situation to enjoy. And the poet feels, oh, I enjoyed it. But the next, you see, all the words, very simple words, no difficult words. And no difficult situation is described here. I said, like the English poet of nature, William Wordsworth, so American poet of nature, Robert Frost, they use common language, common words, describe the common situation and the things of nature, and their attitude, their response to nature. Students, when you read, very, very simple and common words. So, up to this, the poet enjoyed the nature. How was the beauty? Woods, very lovely. Because the woods are lovely, I came here, enjoyed here. Dark and deep, it is winter evening. The woods is deep, and it is dark. It is winter evening. Evening is getting older. Or it is approaching night. So it is dark. So I did a good thing. I came here and I enjoyed the situation or enjoyed the beauty of nature. Students, in the last quatrain, quatrain means a stanza of 4 lines. This poem has 4 quatrains. One quatrain has 4 lines. Quatrain has 4 lines. Quatrain means a stanza of 4 lines. It has got 4 stanzas. 4 into 4, 16 lines. So the wisdom, jnana, the wisdom of the poem lies in the last quatrain, which Pandit Nehru wrote and kept on his table. What is that? The woods are lovely, dark and deep. But the poet thinks, how long I shall stay here to enjoy the beauty of nature? How long I can stay here, or how long I shall stay here to enjoy the beauty of nature, though it is a beautiful scene? No, I am a man. I am born to the world. I have a life. And there is a limit to my life. And there is a limit, Sima, to my enjoyment. What I have to do? The woods are lovely, dark and deep. Really, the woods are lovely, very dark, very beautiful. One should come here and enjoy the woods. It gives pleasure. Pleasure, Ananda. But you see, it is not the aim of life. AIM. Aim means Lakshya. It is not aim of life. And what is the aim of life? But I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Very beautiful lines. Lines of wisdom, lines of philosophy. The poet says, no, it is a beautiful scene, very beautiful, very attractive, very lovely, dark and deep. If somebody comes here, he must enjoy it. But enjoyment of the nature is not the aim of life. Is not the aim of life. What is the aim of life? I have promises to keep. Pile promise artha kon? I promise. You promise before the father, parents. Papa, I promise I cannot smoke. Suppose your friend is smoking. And you smoked. Your parents came to know. And what? They got angry. And you promised, no papa, no mommy, please excuse me, I cannot smoke. You promised. God says, I have promises to keep. Here promise means responsibility, daitya, duties. My aim of life is not only to enjoy the beauty of nature. I am born to the world. I have got a life. And I have to meet the responsibilities of life. I have to perform the duties of life, not only to enjoy the beauty of nature. Here promises means responsibilities, duties of life. I cannot stay here long. The poet says to himself, I cannot stay here long to enjoy this beauty of the woods. I have to go back because I am born to the world. I have the responsibilities in life. I have to meet the duties of my life. And miles to go before I sleep. Sleep also soiva. It is soiva no pile. It is the last sleep. This line is repeated. Very important. This is the last sleep. Means what is the last sleep of life? Death. Because man is born to die. Yes or no? So, they say man is mortal. Mortal बोले मरणशील, immortal बोले अमर. Man is mortal. Man is born to die. The grave is there, samadhi. The end of life is in the grave, inside the grave. And every step we take, it takes us near the grave of life. Near the grave of life. Life is short. So, in this short living period, I have got the promises to keep, to meet the responsibilities of life, to fulfill the duties of life, to meet the aim of life, and my only aim is not to enjoy the beauty of nature. So, I cannot stay here, I must go back. This is very much philosophical. You must admit, this is very much philosophical. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, means the woods are enjoyable, very attractive. One must enjoy it. But I cannot stay long here. I have to go back to fulfill the promises of life, the responsibilities of life, the duties of life, because man is born for a limited period and the end of life is death. And before getting the last sleep, means death, we must fulfill the responsibilities of life. So, it is the great wisdom. The poet Robert Frost ends the poem. I have promises to keep, means to feel, to meet the responsibilities of life or the duties of life, and miles to go. Life is a journey. Journey अर्थ कौन? JOURNEY, Jatra. Life is a long journey, and the journey of life ends in the last sleep, means death. Miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep means before I die. Before I die, I have to continue the journey of life till the end. I have to fulfill the duties, the responsibilities of my life before I die, so that my life would be successful. My life would be successful. What is the end of the poem? How the poem started? The poem started with a lovely, beautiful situation. What? It was a snowy evening, winter evening. The flakes of snow, khanda, white snow falling on the ground. The cold wind is moving slowly. The poet was inside the woods. Inside the woods. He is also feeling cold. His horse is also feeling cold. His horse does not like to stay there. He likes to stay near the farmhouse. But there is no farmhouse nearby. Only a lake. And the water of the lake is frozen. Baraf hai jayche. The poet stopped there to enjoy the nature because there was nobody to disturb him. As the owner of the house was living in the nearby village. So, in the winter evening, he stopped there he stopped there and enjoyed the beautiful scene of the lovely wood. Lovely wood. And the wood was filled with snow. The lake was frozen. It was the darkest evening of the year. He was inside the farmhouse. Inside the farmhouse, he was enjoying, though his horse was not feeling comfortable. Feeling comfortable. The poet went on enjoying the beautiful woods, the beautiful nature. Then one wise thought, wisdom, happened to him in his mind. The poem ends in wisdom or philosophical note. What is that? The poet is thinking, okay, the wood is lovely, beautiful. It is a dark evening. The wood is deep, beautiful scene to enjoy. But how long can I stay here? Can I not go to my place? What is the place? Place of work, place of duty. I have many promises to keep, means I have to meet the responsibilities of life. I have to fulfill the responsibilities of life. I have to meet the duties of life, the duties of life. Can I stay here? No. And I have to walk miles in my life. Life is a great journey. Life starts at birth, ends in death. And death is the last sleep of life. Alexander Pope has said, man is born to die. And life is a journey from birth to death. In between, man has to meet the aim of life, fulfill the responsibilities given to him, or to attend to the duties of life. So, the poet Robert Frost says to himself, no, I should not stay here only to enjoy nature. This is not the great my aim of life. My aim of life is to keep the promises, means to fulfill the duties, to attend to the duties of nature, to meet the responsibilities of life, and to go miles, to continue the journey of life. When we go miles, when we continue the journey of life, to continue the journey of life, before I sleep here, last sleep, death. To continue the journey of life, to fulfill the aim of life till death. Till death, because death brings an end to life. So long I am living, I must carry on the responsibilities of life, the duties of life, or to fulfill the aim of life. So, this poem, very simple theme, started in delight, means khushi. The poet is feeling delighted to enjoy the woods, the nature, and it ends in wisdom, jnana. What wisdom? No, man is not born only for enjoyment, only to enjoy nature. Man is born to continue the journey of life till death and fulfill the aim of his life. So, dear students, it is a very good poem. It is a very good poem, ends in what? Delight, starts in delight and ends in what? Wisdom. This poem has got 4 stanzas. 4 stanzas means, and every stanza is written in 4 lines. It is quatrain. Quatrain is written in 4 lines. And you see, What is the rhyme scheme? Man sound. What is the rhyme scheme? You listen. First quatrain, whose words are these are I think I know. Second line last though. Third line last here. Fourth line last snow. So if I know A, though A, here B, snow A. Then in first line, the first stanza, first quatrain, the rhyme scheme is A, B, A. No, though, snow, A. Here, different sound, B. A, B, A. Second quatrain. Queer, end. Near, lake, ear. Queer, near, lake, ear. If it is C, A, B, C, C, lake, D, again ear, C. C, D, C. C, D, C. Then, okay, third, shake, mistake, sweep, fleck. Shake, mistake, sweet, fleck. What? Shake, mistake, D, fleck, D. It is E, sweep, E. Lust, dark and deep, keep, sleep. E. This is the rhyme scheme. This is the rhyme scheme. Okay. Acha. You tell me, who is I? I refers to the poet. It is written in first person. The poet is the narrator. He refers to the owner of the woods. Owner of the woods. Acha. And this poem gives a natural beauty, describes the natural beauty of the woods. It is one of near silence, dark, deep wood, very beautiful. And the sleep in the last stanza, here sleep means the last sleep. Sleep means the last sleep, it is the death. It is the death. The poet has his routine duties to do before he can take the last rest or last sleep. Okay? The darkest evening of the year. It means the darkest night of the year. Darkest night of the year. The poet has a long way to go in life. Life is a long journey. If he stays in the woods to enjoy the beauty of nature, then he may not meet or fulfill the journey of his life or meet the responsibilities of his life before he dies. So, he says, I have promises to keep. I have promises to keep before I die. I have to meet the aim of life, to fulfill the responsibilities of life, to meet the duties of life before my last sleep. Here sleep is last sleep, death. And promises means the aim of life, the responsibilities of life. Okay? So this poem, stopping by the woods on a snowy evening, evening presents the thoughts that pass through the poet's mind as he stops his horse in a wood on an evening when the snow has begun to fall. Snow was falling. The poet expresses the idea that the beauties of nature can be very attractive, but man has to perform his duties of life and to keep his promise. Man has to continue the journey of life and cannot always give his time to enjoy the beauty of nature. If he goes on enjoying the beauty of nature, he cannot fulfill the journey of his life. So, the poet gives a message, Varta, through the poem that the lovely woods can be attractive, but man cannot give all his time to enjoy the woods. He has to keep the promises of his life, the aim of his life. The poem starts with the ordinary life of a man, but moves to a philosophic thought. Ordinary life of man means, as an ordinary man, he enjoys nature. He enjoys nature, and ends with the philosophic thought. What? Man is not born only for enjoyment. Man is born to continue the journey of life and fulfill the promises of life. Okay? The poet Robert Frost, riding a horse, passes by woods which are lovely, dark and deep. And the poet enjoys the scene, but the horse does not enjoy the scene. The horse wants a farmhouse for a rest and for food, but the poet enjoys the scene. Okay? Snow was falling, wind was blowing, and the poet was enjoying the scene. The poet was enjoying the scene. But the poet thinks, no, enjoyment is not the end of life. Enjoyment is not the end of life. Meeting the responsibilities of life, fulfilling the duties of life, attaining the end of life, aim of life, attaining, attaining, attaining the aim of life, okay, it is man's birth. Man is born to continue the journey of life, fulfill the responsibilities of life before taking last sleep, means death. So, the poem ends with a note of wisdom, bhala gyanabodhaka shakti. In spite of wishing to enjoy the natural beauty, the poet cannot linger there. The poet was a good lover of nature, cannot linger there, rahi parle nahi. He moves on, as he has to cover long distance in order to keep his promises. It is man's life. Life is a journey. Dear students, life is a journey from birth to death. Man is born to die To meet death is the end of life. To meet the end of life, we have to continue a long distance, long journey, and in between the long journey, we have to fulfill the responsibilities of life or the duties of life. That is the only aim, not enjoyment of nature. Okay? So, this poem ends in a great wisdom. The poet says, I cannot stay back the mission. I must complete the journey, mission ba lakshya. I must complete the journey of life to meet the mission of the life. And I have to keep the promises, because I am born for that. I am born for that. I have to keep the promises to perform the duties of life in this long journey until I take the last rest or last sleep. So, students, the American poet of nature, Robert Frost, writes the poems in common language, common situation, describes the common situation. It gives pleasure, but in this common atmosphere, the poet speaks of the philosophy of life or the wisdom of life. Here, this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, written in 4 quatrains, Quatrains, means quatrain is a stanza of 4 lines, and this poem has 4 quatrains, means 16 lines. The poet speaks of double attitude to life. The poet's his philosophical life. What? He is in the woods. He is in the midst of nature. It is beautiful. It is lovely. He enjoys the woods. But again, a deep thought haunts him. He says, how long I will stand here and enjoy the beauty of nature? I am a man. I have got a life. My life has got an aim. And life is a long journey. And I have to take the long journey of life and to fulfill the aim of life. If I don't fulfill the aim of life, if I don't attend to the duties of life, if I don't keep the responsibilities of life, then my life is worthless. There is no meaning in my living, because my life will end in death, and death is the last sleep. Last sleep. So, before being buried under the grave, samadhi, bury putti hova, samadhi putti ho na, I must be active. I must be faithful to my life, and I must work hard to attain the aim of my life or fulfill the aim of my life. So, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, first Prime Minister of India, got encouraged, because it is a very good philosophical poem. It speaks the wisdom of life. It speaks the end of life. So, he wrote the last quatrain, last 4 lines on a piece of paper, kept on his table, and every day whenever he was coming to his office, first he was reading the lines, and he was getting encouragement, utsah, to work hard and hard and hard. So, dear students, this is a very good poem written by Robert Frost, starts with enjoyment of nature, ends in wisdom. Thank you.